Good morning, Coach Vermeil.
Good morning.
Coach, it is wonderful. This doesn't quite remind me of when you won the Super Bowl with the Rams, but I just had a major victory in a sports trivia game. Just want to put that out there to the world. All right, all jokes aside.
Good for you.
Thank you. By the way, James, Steve was supposed to welcome me to the club. I just want to say that. He congratulated me. I didn't hear the welcome.
I asked him to. I did the best I could. I was like, yeah, Steve, you're supposed to jokingly welcome him to the club. Yeah, no, I tried.
I'm playing around. We really appreciate it. By the way, Dick, how about Steve Carlton just calling in? What a pitcher he was. Holy mackerel.
Oh, no question. Yeah. Yes. What a great name, what a great player, and a great person.
No question. And a great nickname with Lefty. Yeah. All right, so, Dick, we waited a long time. We only have 2 more days to wait for the Eagles and the Lions. We'll get your official prediction at the end, but how excited are you for this game, and what are you keying in on? After a year and a half, it feels like we've been waiting for the Eagles and Lions. Thought it was going to be the NFC Championship game last year. We now finally get it. Eagles and Lions, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think as I analyze them, just with only the numbers, okay, that the Eagles are a better balanced team. Detroit is very fine on offense in every category, running and passing. They're very fine. Their defense is not really that good, and their offense maintaining ball control and scoring, all that has really helped them to win their football games. But their defense is not very good. I don't think it's very good. The Eagles balance between the quality of their defense and their offense, and the potential the offense has to keep improving. I think you just got to think the Eagles right now are a better football team.
So Dan Campbell, their head coach, took play calling. I love him too, Coach. He took play calling back from John Morton because he just didn't feel like it was in the right rhythm or where it needed to be. Coach, it doesn't feel like our offense is where it needs to be. It doesn't feel like our offense is in the right rhythm. I don't know. What do you think the answer is?
I think there was a church that proved the rhythm system doesn't work, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Really. I think you just got to be careful of over-evaluating the Eagles' offensive ability because we're always comparing it to what it was last year. It is not what it was last year. But it's a winning offense right now because of the blend of the quality of their defense, and their defense hasn't been as good as it has been in the past either. But I think the defense now has a chance to ascend to be close to what they were, and they proved that the other day. And and watching the game last week, everyone's upset with our offense. Okay, Green Bay is really proud of their defense. Okay, we're very proud of our defense. We have to. When you play a good football team that has a good defense, you can't always just say your offense is not very good.
Right.
That's my point. They balance out. And this game against Detroit, I just think the Eagles, will keep improving on offense, and the Detroit defense is really not that good. Especially when you study them. My God, they're 26th in the league in opponent plays per touchdown. The opponent yards per touchdown, they're 32nd, last in the league.
Oh, geez.
So we're going to move the ball. We just have to get into the red zone more often by, converting a higher percentage of third downs, and we'll control the football game. I believe. Now, they're going to score, but they aren't going to score often.
How do we slow down? How do we slow their offense down? How much do you like their quarterback, Jared Goff?
Well, the stats tell you everything. He's playing lights out. And they get the ball to everybody on the field. They can run the ball as well as You're talking about Gibbs, the running back. I just think our defense will slow them down to the point that we don't have to score 30 points to win. Okay, that's my thinking going into this ball game. I just think our defense now, that was a good offensive team they faced last week. I just think our defense now was better last week than it's been. It'll get better this week, and it'll prove itself against Detroit and keep the game close enough so a field goal will win for it, or one explosive play will win the ball game for us.
Dick Vermeil with us here as he is every Friday at Football Friday, Eagles and Lions on Sunday. Coach, I don't know if you saw the news, but Jeffrey Lurie yesterday spoke to A.J. Brown. They had an extended conversation on the practice field. Obviously, A.J. has been frustrated. I'm curious, from your standpoint, you reported to, I'll use that word, reported to different owners through your years. How would you feel as a head coach? And I'm sure it depends in part on the chops that the owner has and what he or she brings to the table. But how would you feel as a coach when the owner talks to a player to try to just get things settled down a little bit?
I think it's a great idea. I really do. First off, he owns a football team. He can talk to anybody he wants to at any time. Okay.
Yeah.
But Jeffrey's been around a long time. He's seen a lot of different personalities pass through Philadelphia as he owned the football team. And I think it's a good thing. And I think the kid will listen to him. And, the more I listened to the kid's interview, the Browns interview the other day, he sounds better than he does when he puts it online, okay?
I agree. Yep.
He just does. He sounds like a pretty good guy, and we all know that the players like him. So it isn't one of the guys that used to be who are the receivers in the past that have been a pain in the ass. One of them passed through here for a while. Remember, he didn't even show up for the NFL Hall of Fame. Yep.
Yeah, Terrell Owens, yeah.
Yeah, he's not that personality. So I think that the conversation he had with Jeffrey Lurie will be nothing but positive.
Coach, 2 games ago, Saquon got going, and it looked like Saquon from last year. But the other 8 games, it's been pretty pedestrian. Now, he had a big play last week out of the passing game, but as a runner, I mean, it just hasn't been there. What do you – I mean, I know a lot of it's on the offensive line, but how much of it do you think's on Saquon, and what's your confidence level that he cranks it up in the second half of the year? Because 8 out of 9 games not cranking it up is not good so far.
Well, I say if the offensive line cranks it up first, so will he. Okay. I don't think he's a different back in any way than he was last year. We all know the offensive line play is critical for a running back, and they just have not been what they were. And we keep wanting him to be as dominant as he was, and he's not getting the support. And it's just like a quarterback. If they don't protect him, he doesn't throw high percentages. And if you don't block for him properly, and so many times a running play is blocked very well except for one guy. Fundamentally, he doesn't get it done. Or a stunt. Hey, last week, Dave, twice they turned the defensive lineman loose. No one blocked him. Hell, no one would make any yards running a play like that. So I think they'll gradually solve those problems if they get healthier in there and they find out what they can do. I like the fact that they have him back in the I-back position a little bit more, because when the offensive line isn't as efficient as they used to be, when you're back there, a guy like him can find a place to run. He did it last week. He starts up inside, and all of a sudden he's got an end run outside to the right. Okay. It's harder to do that from the shotgun. And I think that's why they're incorporating more I formation or tailback position running plays.
Coach, I get the impression you're picking the Eagles here. Let's find out. Dick Vermeil's official prediction. Eagles and Lions. Coach, what do you got?
I got the Eagles beating them. I really do. And, I'm a big fan of what they've done in Detroit. I have a former player of mine, the assistant general manager there, and I sort of have an insight to what's going on and how they coach and how they run their training camp. I'm a big fan of what he's done. I'm a big fan of his personality profile. There's no way to misunderstand him, okay? I love those kind of coaches. More like the Bill Parcells guys. I love those kind of coaches. I was raised by that kind of man.